Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So with fall now in full swing, I wanted to share a few of my favorite crockpot recipes for you guys that are warm, hearty, and just easy to make for your family and really make you feel like you're getting into the fall season. So I'm going to share my top 5 crockpot recipes with you guys, and all of these recipes you can make ahead and freeze in a Ziploc bag in your freezer, and then when you're ready to eat it, you can pull it out the night before you want to eat it the next night, let it defrost in your freezer or your refrigerator, excuse me, and then you just pop it in the crock pot that morning, set it on low, and it's ready for you by the time you get home for dinner. Or if you're stay-at-home mom, you can put it on high at around like 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. depending on when you guys want to eat dinner for 4 hours, and it's ready for you guys to eat. So I hope you guys enjoy these recipes. I will list all of the ingredients for all the recipes down below in the description box. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments. But here we go.
First, you want to dice 1 onion, then add 1 to 2 pounds of beef to the skillet. If you want it more soupy, add 1 pound. If you want it more hearty, do 2 pounds. Then add salt and pepper to taste. Once your beef has started cooking, add the diced onions to the skillet to start cooking those as well. Whenever I cook in my crock pot, I always use these slow cooker liners. It just makes cleanup later such a breeze. Once you have your liner in place, add your meat and onion mixture to the crock pot. Next, add 1 beer to the crock pot, whatever you have in the fridge is fine, 2 cans of tomato sauce, 1 can of diced tomatoes. I have fire roasted tomatoes this time. I like to add 2 cans of beans. I always do kidney beans and pinto beans, but you can do whatever you prefer. Once you have everything mixed up, add in 1 packet of chili seasoning, and if you like it spicy, add in half a pack of hot chili seasoning as well. Then set your crock pot on low for 6 to 8 hours or high for 4 hours, and you have a yummy chili stew waiting for you when you get home. Here are all the ingredients you will need: buttermilk, shredded sharp cheddar cheese, salt, all-purpose flour, baking powder, shortening, and garlic powder. First, we're going to combine all of our dry ingredients together in our mixer. We're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Next, we're going to add half a cup of shortening to the dry mixture and pulse until it is thoroughly mixed. The texture will be slightly crumbly. Next, we're going to add a cup of sharp cheddar cheese and 1 cup of buttermilk. Then mix all of the ingredients until they are thoroughly combined. The texture should look something like this. I like to cook my biscuits on my Pampered Chef pizza stone. It isn't dirty, it is just well seasoned. So first I use an ice cream scoop because these aren't normal biscuits. These are called drop biscuits. It's a very old school traditional way of making them, so they're not perfectly circular. I only fill this ice cream scoop up about 3/4 of the way, which should give you about 10 to 12 biscuits. Cook at 400 degrees for initially 10 minutes, and then add 2 minutes each time until they are golden brown. next 4 meals we will be meal prepping, and here are all the ingredients you will need. A lot of the meals require overlapping ingredients, so it saves on budget. Before I prepare each meal individually, I prepare my Ziploc bags for the freezer by writing the date and what will be going into each bag. Then I put approximately 1 to 1.5 pounds of chicken in each bag because that is the main meat for each meal. For the chicken tacos, you will need 1 jar of salsa and 1 packet of taco seasoning.
All right, so as you guys can tell, I am baby wearing Charlotte because she was just not having it. She's been cluster feeding a lot lately, and this is the only way I can get this video filmed. So baby Charlotte is making an appearance today. So the first meal I'm gonna put together for you guys is the chicken tacos. This is really easy. You throw it in the crock pot for either 4 hours on high or 6 to 8 hours on low, depending on how strong your crock pot is. And when it's pretty much cooked through, you just shred the chicken and then you let it cook a little bit longer. I do about 30 minutes to an hour after I shred the chicken so that all of the flavors combine. And then you put together your tacos. You buy all of the toppings that you guys love and assemble it really quickly. I normally serve this with refried beans. So all you do is you already have your chicken in the bag and you add 1 packet of taco seasoning and 1 can of salsa. Well, 1 jar of salsa. And this is a 16-ounce jar. We like a little heat in our food, so we always go with the medium seasoning, just because we like a little spice in our food. So all you do, add the taco seasoning, add the salsa. And what I like to do is I kind of like to smush, I know that's not like a technical term, but I like to smush it all together so that it all mixes up. And it kind of marinates the chicken a little bit too because it's in the bags in your freezer. So I smush it all together so the seasoning mixed properly with the salsa. And then I always try to seal these bags without any air in them. So as you can see, I'm laying this flat to push the air out. I think they just last longer or better that way. And there you go.
The ingredients you will need for this pasta are garlic powder, diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, an onion, and bell pepper.
Okay, so the next meal that we're gonna put together is chicken cacciatore. So what you'll do is you'll combine all of these ingredients, obviously throw it in the freezer, and whenever you're ready to eat it, take it out, thaw it, and you're gonna pop it in your crock pot for either 4 hours on low or 6 to 8 hours on high, just like our last recipe. And then once the chicken is cooked, you can either shred it right there in the crock pot, which is always easier and less messy, or you can take it out and cube it if you want it to be in actual cubes. I find the shredded chicken is just easier, and you get a little bit of everything in each bite that way. And then what you do is you throw it over whatever pasta you choose. So 1 box of pasta will be sufficient for this amount of food. Okay, so first you're gonna put 1 jar of tomato pasta sauce. So I always do tomato and basil. I just think it's a really good flavor, and it's a good complement to anything else you want to throw into it, basically. And then to the pasta sauce, you're gonna add 1 can of diced tomatoes. This time I got diced tomatoes that were flavored with basil, garlic, and oregano. So it just adds an extra bit of flavor component to it. Next, I add 1 cup of diced onions and 1 cup of diced bell pepper. I know we already have seasonings in the sauce and the diced tomatoes, but we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder because who doesn't love garlic? And also it's super healthy for you. It's not ever, you can never have too much garlic in my opinion. All right. And then just like with our chicken tacos, you're gonna smush everything together in the bag so it mixes properly. Since this is a little fuller, I am gonna close it just so we don't make a mess. All right, once you get it all mixed together properly, you're gonna, just like with the chicken tacos, take all the air out of the bag that you can manage. All right, then you got everything ready for a chicken cacciatore pasta meal.
The ingredients you will need are garlic powder, teriyaki sauce, chicken broth, dark brown sugar, baby corn on the cob, soy sauce, water chestnuts, and frozen mixed vegetables.
Okay, so the next meal that we're gonna put together is my chicken teriyaki meal. So you combine all the ingredients, you put it in the crock pot, cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours, or again, 4 hours if you're gonna do high. And once it's all cooked, you shred the chicken again inside the crock pot so you don't have any other mess to clean up. And then you, at the same time, simultaneously cook white rice. Just follow the instructions on the package, and then you just put the rice in the bowl and top it with this, and it is so good. It's a super easy weeknight meal for you, and it's really hearty. So this meal has a lot of ingredients, so before I start combining everything, I actually put my bag with my chicken in it inside a mixing bowl like this, so that the bag stands up, because I'm gonna be putting a lot of different ingredients in it, and it's not ingredients that hold the bag up, so it will fall over. The first time I ever tried to do this, it was a mess in my kitchen. So that's a little trick for you guys. Put it in a mixing bowl so the bag stands up, and you can do that with all of the meals. You probably should, just so you're not tempting fate. So the first ingredient we're gonna add to our chicken is half a cup of chicken broth. Okay, and next, you add half a cup of teriyaki sauce. All right, and to that, a tablespoon of garlic powder. We love our garlic in this family. Again, never too much garlic. So the next ingredient you're going to put in there is half a cup of dark brown sugar. Make sure it's dark brown and not light. It does make a difference in the taste. And something I always like to mention is when you are measuring brown sugar, you want to pack it in. A lot of people will just lightly put it in. That's not the proper measurement for it, so you're not getting as much as you need. The last sauce type ingredient you want to add is 1/3 cup of soy sauce. Okay, and for the veggies, what we're gonna add is about 3/4 cup frozen vegetables, and the ones I do are the mixed vegetables that you find in the freezer section. It's corn, green beans, peas, and green beans. And then we love water chestnuts and baby corn on the cob, so I add about half a can of the baby corn, and I break them in half so they're in bite-sized pieces. And then I'll also add half a can of the water chestnuts. Maybe 3/4 of a can. I love my water chestnuts. I could eat them like all day. Okay, and once you have everything in the bag, smush it all together. There's a lot of ingredients in this one, so you really want to make sure they're all mixed properly, because again, it's basically like you're pre-marinating the chicken by putting it in the bag and putting it in the freezer. So you want it all mixed thoroughly. And seal it and try and get as much air out of it as you possibly can. And now you've got your chicken teriyaki ready.
The ingredients you will need are barbecue sauce, dark brown sugar, Worcestershire sauce, and honey, as well as salt and pepper.
Okay, so my final crock pot meal that we're gonna be putting together is my honey barbecue chicken sandwiches. These are so delicious and so easy. Just like all the other recipes, combine all the ingredients in the bag. When you're ready to eat, you pull it out of the freezer and you're gonna put it in the crock pot on low for 6 to 8 hours, or for 4 hours if you're doing it on high. Once the chicken is cooked all the way through, shred it and then put it back, or keep it in the crock pot as you shred it, and let all the flavors meld together a little bit longer. When you're ready to eat, what I do is I get buns and I toast them. You have to toast them. That is so essential. It makes such a difference. And then what you do is you put the pulled chicken on your bun, top it with any toppings that you like, lettuce, cheese, anything else that you would want. And we normally serve it with either tater tots, which, you know, they're a big hit in this household, a salad on the side, or french fries, or anything else that you normally would eat a sandwich with. Okay, so I've got my 1 pound of chicken in my bag already. I have it standing up in the bowl because there are a lot of ingredients, and I don't want it to go all over the place. First, we're gonna put 1 cup of barbecue sauce in. Our big favorite is Sweet Baby Ray's, and they sell it at Aldi, which is a plus, so I always can get it there if I need it. All right, after we've got the barbecue sauce in there, we're gonna put 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I always have a hard time saying that word. I don't know about you guys, but that one's hard for me. Worcestershire. All right, 1, 2. And then while you have your tablespoon, you're gonna also put 2 tablespoons of honey in there as well. And we just use wildflower honey, it doesn't matter what you use if you can, especially if you have allergies. Try and get a honey that is made locally because the bees, if they're local, they're familiar with the allergies that are seasonal in your area. So if you take that honey or eat that honey, it should help against you getting allergies in your area. Farmers markets are great places to get that honey. Okay, and we're gonna do a 1/4 cup of the dark brown sugar. And then salt and pepper to taste, so I just throw a little salt in there and then a little pepper. And you know I love it. We gotta smush. All right, get all the air out of there. You've got your barbecue chicken. So that's all of my recipes. Those are my 5 favorite fall crock-pot recipes, plus the garlic cheddar biscuits for you guys. They're just super easy. Even the chili that I made earlier, you can put that in a bag ahead of time. Instead of throwing all the ingredients into the crock pot after you cook the meat and the onions, you just throw it into a bag just like this and freeze it. So they're really easy meal planning meals for your family. If you have a larger family, you can double the recipes and make 2 bags of each recipe. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Again, the recipes are down below for you. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.